Hey guys, today we're going to introduce Chapter 7 on weather and take a few notes on our guided notes. First thing we want to talk about is what is weather. Weather happens to be the condition of the atmosphere at a certain time and place. The two big determining factors of weather happen to be temperature and precipitation. We talked about this in class yesterday about how these are also the two determining factors for climate when we looked at climagraphs. Another big part of weather is the water cycle, and it's the continuous movement of water from sources on Earth's surface into the air, onto and over the land, and then back to Earth's surface. There are three stages of the water cycle, and you may want to draw these pictures along with us. The first stage of the water cycle is evaporation, and this is where water on Earth is warmed up. And of course, particles are going to spread out, and that liquid is going to change into a water vapor, and it's going to want to rise up away from Earth's surface. The second step in the water cycle is condensation. And as that water vapor rises up above the warm Earth's surface, it cools and is going to change from a gas to a liquid as its particles get closer together and bump into each other and make larger and larger drops. So they're going to start to form clouds as they get higher above the Earth's surface. And the third stage in the water cycle is precipitation. And once those water droplets get so big, they're going to be pulled back down to Earth's surface by gravity in the form of rain, sleet, snow, or hail that falls from clouds to Earth's surface. One term that you've probably heard of is called humidity. And humidity is just the amount of water vapor that's in the air. Sometimes you may have been playing sports outside and you talk about how humid it is because it feels sticky or muggy to you. Well, this is what you're describing is the humidity, how much water vapor there is in the air. And we're going to talk about how that talks about how your body cools by evaporating the sweat off of you and how much harder it is for that to happen. So that's why it gives you that sticky, icky feeling when you're out exercising in a time where there's high humidity. Relative humidity is just the amount of water vapor that's in the air compared with the maximum amount of water vapor that the air will hold. And that again determines on what temperature it is. Warm air will hold more moisture than cold air will. And one of the main reasons that it happens is because the warm air, you have the particles that are more spread out. And the more spread out they are and the faster they're moving, the less likelihood they have of running into each other, just like those particles in the thermosphere from our last chapter in atmosphere. If those particles are in cold air, what do? They slow down, they get closer together, they have more chance to bump into each other and make bigger droplets, and then they want to condense and fall as precipitation. So warm air is going to hold more moisture than cold air will. A psychrometer is going to be an instrument that's used to measure relative humidity. And hopefully I'll be able to show you an example of one of those in class when we get back tomorrow. Condensation is a process by which a gas, such as water vapor, becomes a liquid. So what happens is that gas will rise up as water vapor. It will cool down and condense and form clouds and become a liquid again. The dew point is the temperature at which a gas condenses into a liquid. So there is a temperature at which that gas will condense back into a liquid. Now, before water vapor can condense, you need to know that it has to have a surface to condense onto. So a lot of times whenever we have water vapor condensing here outside of our homes, a lot of times it's on the grass or it's on the car. We call it dew, okay? But that's the condensation that's occurring there. And this occurs when the temperature and the dew point are equal. And that's when you get condensation. You can actually look on the morning news and see what the temperature and the dew point are, and if that temperature reaches that dew point, you know you're going to have condensation on the ground, and you're going to be able to see it when you go outside in the morning. So hope you had a good time taking these notes. We'll get together tomorrow and we'll discuss them in a little bit more detail. Thanks, guys.